So starting with the discussion of pub quiz 40, which was related to states of matter, bonding and structure questions. And all MCQs were there in this assessment test. So in the first question, rate of a diffusion of three gases, ammonia, carbon dioxide, and a methane is measured. What is the order of rate of diffusion of these gases from slowest to the fastest? So first thing, you have to find the mass of each. Like example, ammonia, which is NH3. So mass of a nitrogen is 14 and mass of hydrogen is 1 into 3. So total mass of ammonia is equal to 17. Then we have carbon dioxide, CO2. So carbon is 12 plus oxygen is 16 times 2. So 32 plus 12 makes 40. And then methane is there. Methane is CH4. So carbon is 12 plus hydrogen is 1 into 4. So that will make 16. So these are the masses of the gases. So we have to select the slowest to the fastest. So which one will be the slowest? The one which is heavy will move slower. So means first it will be carbon dioxide, CO2. Then it will be ammonia because 17 is there. At the last, it will be methane, which is the lightest. So 44, 17, and 16. Ammonia will diffuse slowest. Why ammonia will diffuse slowest? Because it is a lighter gas. Where methane will be the fastest one. Why fastest? Because, carbon dioxide will be slowest because it is the heaviest gas, and methane will be the fastest because it is the lighter. That's why A is the right answer. Is it clear? This one?
Clear, sir.
The next one. In question 2, which description of a Brownian motion is correct? So Brownian motion is actually a random motion of the particles. And why the particle will move randomly? Because the lighter particles hit them. Like if there's a heavy particle, say a dust particle or a smoke particle is there, and it is surrounded by the lighter particles, because these lighter particles are continuously hitting the heavy particle, as a result, it will cause a Brownian motion. So Brownian motion is a random motion of the particle due to bombardment of the large particle. That is wrong. Due to the bombardment of the smaller particle, option B, that is correct. Because when smaller particles bombard or hit the heavy particle, they cause a Brownian motion. So Brownian motion is actually the random motion of the particle. Like the particle will move randomly. And why the particle will move randomly? Because the lighter particles such as air molecules or water particles, they hit the heavy particle and they cause a Brownian motion. Heavy particles does not cause a random motion. Heavy particles, when they collide, they cause movement in a specific direction. But when lot of lighter particle, like if one heavy particle is there and it hit another heavy particle, so it will not move randomly, it will move in a specific direction. But what happened in a Brownian motion, like the lighter particles, lot of lighter particles, they continuously hit the heavy particle. As a result, they create a random motion. That is a Brownian motion. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Then in question 3, which statement about the isotopes of the same element are correct? They are atoms which have the same chemical properties, that is true, because they have the same number of electrons in the outer shell. So this is correct. They have the same chemical properties, and chemical properties depends on number of electrons in the outer shell. there are atoms which have same number of electrons and neutron. That is wrong because they have same number of electron and proton, but different number of neutron. But here it's written same number of neutron. So 2 is wrong. The third one, there are atoms which have same number of electrons and protons, but different number of neutrons. So this statement is also correct. So which statements are correct? Statement 1 and statement 3 are correct. That's why B is the right answer. In question 4, which statement about solid magnesium oxide is correct? So magnesium oxide, magnesium is a metal and oxide means oxygen is a non-metal. And when metal combined with a non-metal, what kind of bond they will have? They will have ionic bond, and the structure, there will be a regular arrangement or lattice is there of oppositely charged ions. When we check this statement, it is a giant structure made up of magnesium and oxygen atoms which are covalently bonded. This is wrong. Because between metal and non-metal, there must be an ionic bond, not a covalent bond. When we check the second statement, it is an electrical conductor with a mobile magnesium ion and oxide. They ask for solid magnesium oxide. So in solid magnesium oxide, solid ionic compounds cannot conduct electricity. Why solid ionic compounds cannot conduct electricity? Because ions can only vibrate about the fixed position, but they cannot move from one place to another. So in a solid state, the ions are not free. If it was a molten magnesium oxide, then this statement will be correct. But because it is for solid magnesium oxide, so this statement B is also wrong. What about C? Magnesium loses electron and these electrons move freely through a lattice. That is wrong. That is actually what happened in a metal, not an ionic compound. In ionic compound, when a metal loses electron, these electrons transfer to a non-metal. Like magnesium will lose electron and oxygen will gain electron. Magnesium will be plus charge and oxygen will be negative charge. But in metallic structure, the metal loses electron and these electrons are free to move. That's why the metal can conduct electricity. So statement C is only explaining the structure of a metal. It's not explaining about magnesium oxide. That's why statement C is also wrong. In terms of this one, statement C is correct if the question was about magnesium only. But this is not about magnesium. It is about magnesium oxide. That's why statement C is also wrong. And statement D, oxygen ions and magnesium ions are attracted to each other in a giant lattice. That's true. Like positive and negative ions are held together by a strong electrostatic force. And there is a regular arrangement of the ion, which we call a lattice. So D, option D is the right answer. Is it clear? Question 4. Why B is wrong? If you see in statement B, it is written, it is an electrical conductor, but they are asking for solid magnesium oxide. Solid ionic compounds are not conductor. Why solid ionic compounds are not conductor? Because in a solid state, in ionic compound, the solid state, ions are not free to move. There is a regular arrangement of the oppositely charged ion, but these ions can only vibrate about the fixed position, but they cannot move from one place to another. But here in statement B, it's written, it is an electrical conductor. So solid is not a conductor. If it was a molten magnesium oxide, then this statement is correct that in a molten magnesium oxide, the ions will be free to move, magnesium and oxygen ions, so it will be electrical conductor. If it was a molten or aqueous, but not in solid. In solid state, ionic compounds cannot conduct electricity at all. Then which molecule contain only 3 shared pair of electrons? So for this, you have to first draw the structure of each of them. When we draw a structure of CH3OH, so there is CH3OH So hydrogen share 1, oxygen share 1 from this side, and then oxygen share another one with carbon, because carbon share 4. So the question is, which molecule contain 3 shared pair of electrons? How many shared pair of electrons are there? 1 pair, second pair, third pair, fourth pair, and fifth pair. So this is having 5 pairs of electrons. So it cannot be A. When we talk about chlorine Cl2, chlorine is a group 7 element, group 7 share 1. So this chlorine share 1, other will also share 1. How many pairs are there? Because 2 electron means 1 pair. So this is having only 1 pair. So it cannot be B. When we check water, H2O, in H2O there is H, O and H. Hydrogen share 1, oxygen share 1 from that side, another hydrogen share 1, oxygen share 1. How many shared of pair of electrons are there? 1 and 2. So it has 2 pairs. But in N2, nitrogen belongs to group 5. Group 5 share 3 electrons. So each nitrogen share 3 electrons. So this nitrogen share 3. The other nitrogen will also share 3. So 1, 2, and 3 pairs are there. So this is having 3 pairs. And that's the question. Which molecule contain only 3 pairs of electrons, like shared pair of electrons? That's why D is the right answer. Is this clear? Question 5. Any doubt in question 5? Okay. In question 6, which particles are present in a structure of a metal? What is the structure of a metal? A metal consists of a lattice of positively charged ions and the delocalized electrons. So positively charged ions are there. And the delocalized electrons are free to move within the structure. So we have to check which statement is correct. Like, what are the particles present? There are positively charged ions, that's correct. Are there negative ions? Ions are in a metal, there are no negative ions, there are electrons. 3 electrons are there. Shared pair of electron, metal does not share the electron, non-metal do. They have the mobile electron, so that's also correct. So statement 1 and statement 4 are correct. That's why B is the right answer. In question 7, caffeine structure is given. You have to state the molecule of or formula of the caffeine. Look how to work out the formula from the structure. You just count the number of atoms for each. Like carbon are there. How many carbon atoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 carbon atoms are there. So it means it cannot be A, because 8 carbon atoms. Then hydrogen are there. How many hydrogen? 1, 2, 3. Like, because it's written 3 here. This is written 3. So 3, 6, 9, 10. So 10 hydrogen should be there. So which is having 10 hydrogen? So this does not have 10 hydrogen, so it cannot be D. Then we check for nitrogen. Count how many nitrogen are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 nitrogens are there. So which is having 4 nitrogen. This have 3 nitrogen, so this have 4. So we don't have to check all of them. And 2 oxygen will be there. As you can see, this 1 and 2, so 2 oxygen O2. So molecular formula of this compound from the structure C8H10N4O2. So C will be the right answer. So from the structure, you should be able to identify